It's August 5th, 2009. I'm James Hall II, and today I'm interviewing Leonard and Lionel Foster. Where were you two born?
Monroe, Louisiana.
Where do you call home now?
Mason City, Iowa.
Like, what brought you to Iowa?
Well, our parents brought us to Iowa back in 1941 when we were 3 years old.
Where did you go to school?
Went to grade school here in Mason City, McKinley, which is no longer there, St. Joe, which is no longer there, Grant School, which is no longer here, and went to high school in South Bend, Indiana.
What did you guys do for entertainment in your younger days?
Which younger days?
Like when you
We were little kids?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you could run around Mason City as a kid. I mean, we didn't have the fear, I guess, that exists out there now. I mean, kids could run all over this town, and parents could trust the fact that nobody's going to bother you. But today, it's a little different. But we had playgrounds and that sort of thing. You get together with your buddies and go play tag football or play softball or baseball or something like that.
Did you ever have a problem with segregation?
I did, yeah, when I was in the military.
Could you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I joined, we left Mason City in 1950, I think it was, or 51, and went to South Bend, Indiana. We then joined the United States Marine Corps, and we went to California, San Diego, for our boot training. When we got out of boot training, I was then shipped down to Memphis, Tennessee, against my will, and spent time in Memphis, Tennessee, I think 3 months or 4 months. Then I was shipped down to Quantico, Virginia, and I stayed there probably about 3 years, about 2.5 years, because in my last year I was transferred back to, or transferred up to Glenville, Illinois. Being in Jacksonville, Florida, where my uncle lived all of his life, most of his adult life rather, I ran into a lot of it. I mean, it's segregated. What you see on television is real. The fountains, segregated fountains, the segregated restrooms, all of those different things. When I was down in Memphis, we could go in town on Liberty. Well, when I got on the bus that came from Millington, Tennessee, to go to Memphis, Tennessee, which is like 12 or 13 miles, when we got on the public transit, we had to get on the back of the bus. I got on the front of the bus, and the bus driver says, "I'm not going to move this bus until you do what you're supposed to do." And I said, I looked at him, what am I supposed to do? And my buddy got up and said, "Hey, come on, let's go." Now they had a partition, it's a wire partition right behind the bus driver and going back to the passenger section. And so when I got off the bus and went to the back, they had some African American folks sitting on the back of the bus. This one lady looked really angry at me because I didn't know what the custom was down there. And so I said, okay, and the other lady just looked at me and smiled, and there was an older gentleman there who said, you need to pay attention when you're down here. Well, I really didn't know what that meant until we got into the city of Memphis, and Memphis was segregated. And the only place you could go for entertainment was on Beale Street in Memphis, and that was that you could not catch a cab down there, a white cab, and they didn't have any black cabs. And if you got out of there, you had to get out of there before it turned dark. So a friend of mine and I just stayed past the deadline, and it turned dark, and we had to walk back to the bus station, and ran into a couple of hostile cops walking back. So they told us to get on the bus, and we better hurry up and get over to the bus station. And they were going to meet us over there, and they did. They went around the block and followed us all the way to the bus station. So that's the sort of discrimination I ran into.
How has the civil rights movement affected you?
Well, it affected me in regard I'm the first and only African American carpenter here in this area. I was on a city council for 4 years, and it's helped quite a bit as opposed to when we grew up, when things were a lot tighter, a lot tougher than they are now.